Hi Johnny, how are you today?
I'm good, and yourself?
Good. How have things been since our last session?
Uh, Not bad. I mean, little hiccups here and there, but nothing that throws up a red flag.
Yeah, so it's been probably a little bit more than a week since we met last.
Mhm.
I know that we've been able to create a treatment plan, um, talked about different goals, a lot of self-care stuff that you need to work on. How are things going with your self-care?
I've been doing very well. I've been going to the gym, doing a lot of running,
Okay.
and trying to focus on stuff that I like to do mostly.
Mhm. Have you been able to do any of that like with somebody, or you kind of prefer to do it alone?
I rather go do my workouts alone.
It's kind of like your time to be alone.
Yeah, I've been doing that a lot instead of just moping around the house.
How do you know like what to do at the gym? Like your routines and stuff?
Oh, I look it up online. Different kinds of routines to do.
Okay,
Yeah.
pretty good. How have things been like at home? I know you said that you wanted to get into more wood stuff and crafting, and
Yeah, I haven't done much of that.
you haven't? How come?
No, I don't know. Just kind of not really sparking my interest in the past
You've
week
been
or
busy
so.
and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's only been a week, so I'm
Yeah.
sure I'll start getting back into the swing of things.
What if you start with something like small, like a picture frame, or something like really really small?
Could do that.
So something like elaborate, like a table.
I think I'd rather a bigger project though. So keep myself busy. A picture frame would take me 10 minutes.
That'll get you feet wet though, if you
No,
think
well,
about it.
I know what I'm doing. I just can't really get the motivation to go out and start building tables and chairs and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I mean, you have a lot on your plate right now too.
Right.
How are the kids?
Good. Very good.
Good. School's going well.
Yep.
Have they been able to come visit?
Um, Here and there, but
Just when they need to do the laundry?
Not this past week.
Yeah. That's good. Do you still talk to them on the phone regularly?
Yeah, every day, even if it's a text here and there. But
That's good. It's good to have that connection though with them. How is things at work?
good. Same. Nothing's changed.
No. Have you heard anything about the results of the drug test?
No, nothing yet.
No, nothing.
No.
So I mean,
I don't know what's taking them so long.
It's been a couple weeks, right?
Yeah. Yeah. What's that?
So.
I don't know if they maybe had a miscommunication or something.
Mhm.
Maybe something just went wrong.
Yeah. So I wonder what could have happened there. What else? How are things with your wife?
Seems to be the past week has been pretty rocky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I don't know. It seems like she's been picking up the drinking a little bit more and kind of being more of a loner in a lot of aspects.
Now, what does she do for work?
She works at daycare.
Okay. So, like, when she comes home, she kind of just
Yeah.
lounges around and drinks.
That's it. She don't do much anymore. I mean, she go to the gym every now and then, and she'll go shopping or something, go and hang out with some of her friends. But
when it comes to you, she's kind of.
Yeah, even this past week, she hasn't been out and seen her friends or nothing. And just been sitting at home. I don't know what's been eating at her. I mean, I tried talking to her, but nothing really came through.
Yeah. So I wonder if there's something else going on that is just on her mind.
Yeah, that's why I like to try to get her in here.
Yeah, definitely, and that's something that we can look into. Now, how is that affecting you? Like her behaviors?
Just gets my mind getting rattled, Just thinking about all the things that it could be. I know when she's happy or sad, and I know
you can
the
read
signs and stuff, yeah. Mm-hmm. But she's just not interested in talking about it.
Which, I mean, at this point, you might just want to give her space, unless you think that it's something that you need to worry about.
Yeah.
Because if she's trying to kind of be alone and isolate herself, that's one thing. But when she starts heavily drinking, that's kind of maybe the start of a red flag of something else.
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of times people will kind of resort to that to get away from something else,
Yeah.
almost like a self-medication.
Yeah, that's why I think she'd definitely benefit from something like this. You know?
Yeah.
Being
And I
able to
mean,
talk to someone, especially someone of a medical type deal, you know what I mean? Not really like a doctor, but someone that could.
like a professional.
Yeah, a professional.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's completely understandable. But the one thing that I would have to say that I'm worried about is how it would affect you. Given,
What do you mean?
like, given your history, I know that you initially started coming out here because you were referred for the failed drug test,
Mhm.
and then also you kind of talked about. I mean, I don't consider drinking to be a problem of yours, but I would definitely. It might be a possibility
Yeah.
that it might get you going again.
Yeah, I mean, I've been really trying hard to stay away from it, but this week I had quite a few drinks.
What do you mean by
nights,
quite a few?
like a good amount. I think just by seeing her drink and then my head just going crazy,
Mhm.
just fucking. I mean, just sorry for cursing.
That's okay.
It just drove me to drink, you know.
Now, what's a lot to you? Is that like 2 or 3? Is it like 15?
Like 9 or 10. 9 or 10.
Okay. So, I mean, that's enough to. All in one sitting is kind of a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I really
Where do
tried.
you do it usually? Is it
just my house?
out?
Yeah, I usually.
Is it out in like your garage or?
Yeah, usually my garage. That's where my workstation is.
So, basically, the scenario is when she's inside, possibly drinking, you're in the garage, kind of drinking.
That's it.
So it's almost like you guys are like living two lives.
Guess you could say that. I mean, I've been trying to make progress in it, but.
And I mean, you're doing great by yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I think she should come and talk to someone like you, or maybe one of your other people that work here, you know.
Mhm.
But
and I think it's important for
she's
you.
so stubborn, though. She just thinks she's always right. And she doesn't need no help, you know.
Yeah.
But
I think it's important for you to kind of focus on yourself at this point, because in order for you to help out with your marriage, you have to kind of focus on yourself before you help her or have to worry about that. Because I mean, I know that we talked about doing different things with her, like having a date night, stuff like that. I think you had a couple good nights with her.
Yeah. You did.
What do you think would happen if you tried to approach her again?
I don't think nothing bad's gonna happen, obviously, but I think she's just gonna. I don't know. Just mostly her tone is just like she's agitated whenever I talk to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so she's
Like everything I say is something stupid, and she has to answer the stupidest questions ever. You know?
No, is it her tone or what
That's
she
it.
says?
Yeah. No, it's
the
usually
tone?
the tone. Yeah, and like the word placement and all that. You know, people do that.
Which I mean, she might have a lot on her mind too. And her kids are both away. You're at work a lot.
I tried talking to her. That's why I'm trying to refer her to a place like this.
And I mean, she might not.
I know
be,
she's not gonna want to do it. I already know it. But,
which you can't force anybody into
yeah,
that kind of
but
stuff.
it would benefit us so much. You know. I mean.
No, I can already tell that you're getting irritated just talking about
I
it.
drink right now.
That's not a good. Not a good result to that. I mean, you could say, "Hey, I want to go do something else."
Yeah, I'd rather drink. So much
Why?
easier.
What does drinking do for you?
I don't know. It calms me down. As weird as that sounds.
Which is weird because usually alcohol is a stimulant.
Yeah, usually it calms me down, gets my mind off of things, and I just enjoy it.
Okay. See, this is something new because before, I mean, you talked about drinking as if it was like a leisure activity, like every once in a while with acquaintances.
Yeah.
So it seems like the stress with your wife and maybe something else is kind of triggering you to look further into it.
Yeah, the past week I definitely drank a lot more than I usually do, but I think it's definitely because all the stuff that's going through my mind.
Now, what happens if you try to kind of get away from what's going on with your wife?
What do you mean get away?
Like, try not to think of that kind of stuff as much. Like, what's going on with her and her behaviors at home and her... Which, I mean, I know it's a huge factor in your life. But what happens if you just kind of sit back, take a step back, and kind of just focus on yourself?
I don't know, I'm just afraid if something like that happens, I'm afraid my family will just, like, break down, you know?
As in, like,
if I try to focus
children.
on myself and all my needs, then their needs won't be met.
How come?
I don't know, I feel like I'm there to hold everything together.
Now, I know it is as bad as it sounds, but it might be a good thing that your children are at school right now. Because this kind of gives you an opportunity to do something for yourself. This way you have more time. You have definitely the focus to kind of do it now. Do you think that your wife would be affected by it?
I really don't know. I don't think she would.
What? If you...
There hasn't been much communication between us two. I mean, it started to improve, but then it improved, then it hit its peak and started going down again.
So it's kind of like going up and down,
up and down. At this point right now, I don't think it would affect her.
So then why don't we try that?
Well, I pretty much do that, though. You know what I mean? I go to the gym alone. I hang out by myself most of the time.
And it seems like you're doing very well with that stuff. So focus on stuff alone. But then when you are home, you do worry about what's going on with your wife. You worry about how she's doing. Which, I mean, that's completely normal. But it seems like it's getting to the point where it's stressing you out and affecting your relapse.
Yeah, it definitely has been.
And that's what we don't really want.
No.
So.
We're done. Got it.
So what do you think that you can do to kind of...
Still recording?
Yeah. What do you think you can do to help that?
Help with what?
Just not focusing on her needs so much. Focusing on yourself.
That's what I've kind of been doing. I mean, just something that would keep my mind off all the stresses, you know?
Which, I mean, we've come up with a lot of different... We've brainstormed a lot of different things.
I've been trying all of them. But at some points, enough's enough, you know? I try to have a conversation with her. She gives me a little bit of attitude. Like, enough's enough.
How do you answer her when she gives you an attitude?
I just walk away. I'm not even... Just makes me more upset and frustrated. If I try to argue, I know it'll just be going on for an hour or so.
And then what happens when you walk away? Does she get more and more irritated, or does she... What's her typical response to you when you walk away?
She kind of just keeps talking and talking, and then...
The doors get slammed.
Yeah, that's about it. I don't know if she feels accomplished that she won the battle.
Kind of like she had the last word?
Yeah, I don't know. That might be something that she probably likes, you know?
Because, I mean, as bad as it sounds, but that almost defeat is kind of like a reassurance a reinforcement to her behaviors. So she kind of knows that she's getting away with her behaviors. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So maybe just not even reacting to her, or just being like, okay.
Yeah, I
Um,
need to try different kind of communication, like ways, you know.
so basically, what it seems like is you try to ignore it.
That's about it.
Um, okay, but it doesn't seem like it'd be working so much.
No. That's why I don't like. What kind of things could you tell me that would help out?
Well, as much as I would love to have a magic wand to tell you all the wonderful things to do, one thing that I could kind of support you on is trying to talk to her about, like, just flat out saying, like, what's going, like, why? Like, why are you, what's her, like, the tone? I mean, don't give her a tone back because then it's just going to get into a screaming match. So,
I mean, there's definitely other ways I could handle it, you know.
but I mean, you're human. You're just doing it as best as you can.
Yeah. I mean, I'll definitely figure out other ways to handle it, or tell her what I'm feeling when she talks to me those certain ways, and try to get it across to her and go from there. You know.
Yeah, I
She
mean,
might sympathize with me if I tell her it's hurt my feelings when she talks to me that way, which might in turn change the way she talks to me.
because she might not even realize she does it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people just have that way to them. You know what I mean?
Because I mean,
Just the way they
sometimes
talk, yeah.
when I answer somebody, I mean, I can sit here and be like, "Hey," you'd be like, "Hey." I mean, it's no matter what I'm doing, something could be on my mind, and I just respond to somebody differently.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what happens. So,
Yeah, I mean, I'll try to.
I mean, it's completely understandable that you get frustrated. It's a typical response. And I mean, it just means that you care. So,
So, how else could I try to express things to her? Like certain things, you know what I mean? Like
what do you mean?
just all the stuff that's been going on.
Like, you're stressing with her?
Yeah, and maybe vice versa. Like she doesn't even talk to me about anything really.
Because maybe she's waiting for you.
Yeah, but when I try to, she just shuts it down.
No, is this when, like, do you try to talk to her, like, in the midst of an argument? Or,
No.
so what if you kind of plan something out and be like, hey, let's do dinner this night, blah, blah. So, tomorrow night, let's do dinner. Like, I want to cook dinner. Maybe you cook dinner, maybe you order out, whatever you want to do. And then kind of go from there and see the conversation, like the dynamic of the conversation, see how things are going, the topics, and see like what goes on at that point.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a shot. I need to try some other different ways, you know.
Opposed to maybe like coming out of the blue, that might be a little
Too direct.
Well, I mean, at times you have to be direct, but and then in the midst of an argument, the last thing on her mind is wanting to
That's
talk
true.
about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
So I definitely think that through time and through kind of focusing on yourself, you'll be able to develop stuff within yourself and you'll know when the right time to talk to her about that stuff is.
How could I tell?
When the right time is?
Yeah.
You can pick and choose. I mean, if it's a time that you guys are kind of hanging out, maybe that's the right time. All right.
Sounds good.
Do you have any other questions or?
Not as now, but sure, I'll think of some stuff. You know.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna try to work on things more often. You know.
Yeah, and I mean, just kind of take in what we talked about today. I mean, even if within the next week you don't get that opportunity, just kind of thinking, okay, can I do it now? Should I do it now? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then maybe next time we can talk about this was the situation. I'm not sure if I could completely do it at the time. I didn't know if it was the right time. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I will see you in a week. Hopefully things stay good for you because you're doing well.
Hope so.
All right.
Sounds good.
Have a good week.